even though we should be just killing Tesla. Yeah, then we take out one of the flyers here. We get the draw from the Chamber Guardian, which is nice, and then we also get the draw from the Henge, which is pretty cool. No attacks here because the Enforcer is in the way. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. I'm your host, and we're playing Magic the Gathering Arena today. Brawl in Core Set 2021, Mono Green Jolrael, focusing around drawing cards and making 2/2 pups from Jolrael's ability. This is a deck made by myself, Hello Good Game, MTG Jeff, and Dr.Spilikin. So I really recommend you guys checking those creators out as well on YouTube. We do a podcast together called Friday Night Magic that comes out every Friday. So go listen to that as well. And now this is a deck that we made collectively on the podcast together, which was a lot of fun. So I'm here today to showcase it for all of you. It's a powerhouse. It is very cool. A lot of people think that the green doesn't have so much of a draw engine, but there are plenty of opportunities to be drawing a massive amount of cards within the green archetype, right? As always, we're breaking down the deck list in its entirety. What do each individual card, or what does each individual card do, and where is its place within the deck, right? And then we're talking about the deck strategies and synergies. How do all of those individual cards work together to form a coherent archetype? Then we're into today's gameplay footage where we break down all the different play lines and interactions within the new Core Set 2021 meta. Finally, we have my closing thoughts where we take a look at any alternative build paths, maybe trim the mythics and rares back for some of the free-to-play and beginner audience. We're also talking about our upcoming content for the rest of the week and any other important things that happen to come up, right? So if you find any value within this video, I really encourage you to go ahead and give me a thumbs up and share it out to a friend as well. Let's get right into it. We're talking about Jolrael Recluse. So this is a 1/2. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 green cat creature token. We can also pay 6. Until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness of XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So this is a 2-drop, and it's really easy to just sneak out on the battlefield whenever you want. And because it's our commander, when it gets removed, we can play it again with diminishing returns or an increased mana cost every turn. So every time it's removed, we'll have to pay an additional 2 mana to replay it. But nonetheless, being that it is such a cheap cost, it's not that hard to pay 4 and then to pay 6 as the game progresses, right? On to our 1-drops though. We've got a copy of Arboreal Grazer. This is a 0/3 with reach. When it enters the battlefield, you may play an additional land from your hand onto the battlefield. Ooh. Gilded Goose is 0/2 with flying. When it enters the field, create a food token. We can pay 2 plus tap the goose to create an additional food token anytime. And then we can also tap the goose to sacrifice a food, adding 1 mana of any color. Ranger's Ghoulie, an instant. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof until end of turn. Primal Might, a sorcery. Target creature you control gets +X/+X until end of turn. Then it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. On to our 2-drops. Voracious Hydra. Now this is a base cost of 2. It'll come out as a 0/1. So you're going to really want to cast this and utilize its X cost. So it's a 0/1 with trample. It enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. And then when it enters the battlefield, you get to choose one. Either doubling the amount of 1/1 counters that you just placed on it, or you can have it fight another target you don't control. So that's really cool. Doubling the counters is great because it has trample, and then fighting a creature you don't control is great as well, just because removal, right? Tomb of Legends is really cool. This is an artifact. It enters the battlefield with a page counter on it. Whenever your commander enters the battlefield or attacks, put a page counter on it. We can also pay 1, tap it to remove a page counter and draw a card. This is Triumph, sorcery. Search your library for up to 2 basic forest cards. If you control a Nissa Planeswalker, instead search your library for up to 3 land cards. Reveal those cards, put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Scavenging Ooze, a 2/2, we can pay 1, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature, we get a 1/1 counter on Scavenging Ooze, and we gain 1 life as well, so that's quite cool. Ram Through, an instant. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. If the creature you control has trample, excess damage is dealt to that creature's controller instead. We have 1 copy of Paradise Druid. This is a 2/1 with hexproof as long as it remains untapped. We can also tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Once Upon a Time, an instant cost spell, or an instant speed spell with the cost of 0 if it was our first spell cast this game. So that's quite cool. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card or land card from among them, put it into your hand, then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So casting this for 2 is good. Casting this for 0 is 100% broken. This card's banned in Standard, but totally viable in Brawl, so I really recommend it within your green decks. Crawl Harpooner is a 3/2 with reach, undergrowth, so when it enters the battlefield, we choose up to 1 target creature with flying that we don't control, and Crawl Harpooner gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard, and then we may have Crawl Harpooner fight that creature, so that's quite nice. Kendra's Transformation, this is an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card, which is very nice for our synergies. And then enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a green elk creature with base power and toughness of 3/3, which just brings me back to the good old days of yelling elk at people playing Oko, right? Heroic Intervention, instant permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. On to our 3-drops finally. We have Cultivate, Sorcery, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal those cards, put 1 into the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand, then shuffle your library. 1 Llanowar Visionary. This is a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. We can also tap it to add 1 green mana source. The first Iron Games. This is an enchantment saga, so it's triggering on battlefield entry and then each of our upkeeps following. On the battlefield entry, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Next upkeep, put 3 1/1 counters on target creature we control. Next upkeep, if we control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw 2 cards. And then finally, create a gold token, which can be sacrificed for a mana source of any color. Garrick's Harbinger, this is a 4/3 with hexproof from black. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, we get to look at that many cards from the top of your library. You may reveal a creature card or a Garrick Planeswalker card from among them, and then put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So it's not a draw engine. We're just searching and putting it into our hand, but nonetheless, we're still drawing cards in a way. Rashing Brontodon is a 3/4. We can pay 1, sacrifice it, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Onto our 4-drops. Gemrazor. It has a mutate cost for 3, which can be nice sometimes. It's reach, trample, 4/4, and whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. Guardian Project is an enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature you control, or if it's a creature card, or a creature card in your graveyard, draw a card. So the fact that we're playing Singleton will make Guardian Projects trigger every time we play a creature. Migratory Greathorn is a 3/4, mutate also for 3 here, so a little bit cheaper, same as Gemrazor. Whenever this creature mutates, search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library. The Adversary, this is a 2/3 with Death Touch, costing 2 less to cast if our opponent controls a green permanent. Whenever it deals damage to a player, draw a card. Beast Whisperer, whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card, a 2/3. Questing Beast at 4/4, Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste, can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage can't be prevented by creatures we control, and whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls as well. Shifting Ceratops is a 5/4, cannot be countered, protection from blue, pay 1 to give it trample, reach, or haste until end of turn. Vivian Arcbow Ranger, legendary planeswalker, 4 loyalty when she enters. +1, distribute 2 1/1 counters among up to 2 target creatures. They gain trample until end of turn. -3, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker, which is nice because there's no fight, so it's not taking damage, just dealing damage. -5, you may choose a creature card you own from outside the game, reveal it, put it into your hand. That's not applicable because we can't have a sideboard with Brawl, so don't worry about that. Solemn Simulacrum, a 2/2, and when it enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land card, put it into play, and then when it dies, you may draw a card. On to our 5-drops, you guys. We've got Vivian Monster's Advocate, another legendary planeswalker coming in with 3 loyalty, a few static abilities here. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may cast creature spells from the top of your library. +1, create a 3/3 green beast creature token, then put your choice of Vigilance, Reach, or Trample on it. -2, whenever you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser converted mana cost, then put it into the battlefield. We've got Nissa Who Shakes the World, obviously. Legendary Planeswalker coming in with 5 loyalty, static. Whenever you tap a forest for mana, add an additional green source. +1, put 3 1/1 counters on up to 1 target non-creature land you control, untap it. It becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with Vigilance and Haste and is still land. -8, you get an emblem with lands you control have indestructible. Search your library for any number of forest cards and then put them into the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library. Keeper of Fables, this is a 4/5. Whenever 1 or more non-human creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Elder Gargoth, 6/6, Vigilance, Trample, Reach. Whenever it attacks or blocks, you can either create a 3/3 green beast, gain 3 life, or draw a card. Return of the Wild Speaker, an instant speed spell, which is nice. we get to draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures we control, or non-human creatures you control get +3/+3 until end of turn. We have Beanstalk Giant, Fertile Footsteps for 3, search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield, then shuffle your library at sorcery speed. Or for 7, Beanstalker's Giant's power and toughness is equal to the number of lands you control, so this could be at least a 7/7 if you're not ramping into it, which is quite nice. And then we have the Great Henge, finally. Legendary artifact. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. We can tap it to add 2 green mana symbols and gain 2 life. Whenever a non-token creature you control enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. Now that's the important part there, is that draw engine. So this is our entire deck list. We're accompanied by 23 forests and a single Castle Garenbrig, in which we can tap it for 5 to add 6 mana to use on creature spells or abilities of creatures. That's the deck list. Being that it is a Brawl deck with 60 individual cards, it's a lot to get through. I think we did a decent job at it today. Let's begin to discuss some of the strategies and synergies within the deck if you haven't already picked up on them from our deck list. So we mentioned that our commander is Jolrael. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 green cat creature token. So that's nice just to support chump blockers. And then if we can get wide enough, we can think about activating her ability for 6 to create an XX army. So hopefully we've got like 6 cards in her hand and then 6 cats on the field and then, you know, some other creatures, and they all become 6/6s and smash in for lethal, right? So that's a really cool combo that we can use just generally. And now we can draw 1 card on our turn because we draw on our draw step, right? So we draw 1 card on our turn to activate that. And we can also activate it a second time on our opponent's turn. So there are certain things like Solemn Simulacrum, for example. When it dies, you may draw a card. This will take place on your opponent's turn, which is quite nice. So there's a few chances for us to trigger Jolrael on our opponent's turn. However, there aren't too many. Elder Gargoth is another. Whenever it blocks, you get to draw a card, so that can take place on your opponent's turn as well, which is quite nice. And then we can also use our Tome of Legends to pay 1 and tap it to remove a page counter to draw a card on our opponent's turn. So a couple things, right? We don't have any creatures with flash, so the Guardian Project doesn't really help just because there's no creatures to be played on our opponent's turn. That was an alternative route that we discussed during the podcast, if we should build it that way. We decided not to, and just to keep it more consistent with Trample, right? So that's how you draw on your opponent's turn. There are a ton of ways to draw spells on your own turn. Guardian Project, when you play anything, is going to draw, right? So that's really nice. Beast Whisper is a similar effect whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. So those are going to stack and both help you draw. The Adversary, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card as well. We talked about Elder Gargoth. Keeper of Fables, whenever we're dealing combat damage to a player. With a non-human, we're drawing a card. Whenever Llanowar Visionary enters the battlefield, we draw a card. So you can see just how many draw effects there are, which is really, really nice. We do have utility within the deck as well. Utility ramp through the Great Horn. This is amazing. This combos quite well with the Grazer or the Goose, right? Playing these on turn 1, and then on turn 2, we're attacking with 3, plus we've ramped, so that's excessive. We have Gemrazor to destroy artifacts or enchantments, such as the Guardian Project, and you really want to make sure that you prioritize it to hit their best one, or just to have the reach to protect you from flyers, right? Thrashing Brontoton is another way to destroy those artifacts or enchantments, but there are very few ways to deal with them in this deck. As far as creature removal goes, we do have Primal Might, which is quite nice. Voracious Hydra, which is really cool as well. Vivian's -3 can remove things as well. We have Ram Through, which also will help us fight things. So there's a little bit of removal. Crawl Harpooner removes flyers. I think that's it though, as far as direct removal goes. So we've got a little bit of removal, a lot of draw, and then a lot of value just within huge creatures, right? So we talked about the Guardian Project and Beast Whisperer having to draw you a card whenever you play a creature. The same goes with the Great Henge. We missed that. Whenever you play a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. So the idea is just to continuously play creatures, draw yourself cards, have Jolrael take over the field, collect land, build a big hand, and then make your whole field just those big baddies, 6/6s, whatever they end up being, to smash your opponent, which is really, really cool. So Do keep in mind all of the +1/+1 counters that we accumulate from things will be additional power on the XX, just because the tokens stack on top of the X's. So things like, you know, that come in with the counter, for example, from the Great Henge, or that get the counters from the Ghoul. There's a couple ways to put counters on things, and those counters can help you out late game with Jolrael potentially. I think that's it, you guys. We do have, of course, just like the big bad creatures, like Questing Beasts, like Shifting Ceratops, like Scavenging Ooze, that really just hold the deck together and make it competitive, right? The rest of it is just straight up spice. We talked about removal, we talked about our creatures, we talked about our draw engines. Let's talk a little bit of protection before we move in. Heroic Intervention, the Ghoulie. These will give you hexproof. Heroic Intervention, Indestructible, which is quite nice. So protecting your field state against your opponent's removal is going to really help sway these matches too, because it's singleton. Your opponent doesn't run 4 Shadow of the Skies. They've got 1, right? So if you can protect from that, you're good to go, keep progressing, and you've probably won the game, especially with the amount of value that this deck is giving you. So if you have any questions on the deck list, leave it in the comments below and we'll make sure that we sort it out with you guys. I hope you do enjoy the Brawl content. It's something that we're looking to make more of in the future, and potentially some free-to-play Brawl and Historic for you as well. So we're live on Twitch, you guys, every single morning, 6 a.m. Mountain Standard, and then at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard, we're live on YouTube. Oh my god. We're live on YouTube at 6, we're live on Twitch at 7, and then we're in Discord for the rest of the day. My lord. Woof. So enjoy today's gameplay footage, you guys. I know I enjoyed playing Mono Green Brawl. Again, this deck was made with MTG Jeff, Dr.Spilikin, and myself, so it is a powerhouse. Feel free to grab the deck list in the comments below. Oh my lord. Anywho, yeah, don't forget to watch the end as well so you don't miss out on my final comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, hit the bell icon. 3 land again, pretty cool. Starting out with a Grazer into a Great Horn. That is some pretty quick ramp. We are playing against an Atris though, which destroys a Mutate stack. Keep in mind that Atris is pretty cool. Oh no, sorry. I'm thinking of, I'm not thinking of Atris. I'm thinking of, oh, what's his name? He's a Dimir card as well. Someone will know. Someone will have to put it in the comments for us or in chat here. What's that other Dimir card that when you attack, it goes back into your library, and when they've got so many things with permanents with counters on it, you win the game, and if they hit a Mutate stack, it puts it on all of them. We got a 3/4 attacking on turn 2 with 4 lands on the field. So that's a thing, right? He does have anticipation, so we're talking flash, right? Casting spells as though they had flash. Very, very cool. We're talking flash artifacts. Let's take the hit first and see if there's any interaction. Spending his mana, perfect. He might block here. Does mill our Vivian, that sucks. And he gets to take the Scry too, so that's very good. The card I was thinking, thanks to chat here, was a Tetra, or whatever the pronunciation of it is. So let's start drawing right away. Get our draw engine in play. We could kill the Apprentice, but I'm just not entirely sure that it's high enough priority for us to deal with. Let's take our draw. It was only a 2-drop, so if it's countered, not so bad. At least we get to draw to replace it. More land is fun too. Triceratops can't be countered, so I don't need to attack before I cast it. He could have pretty cool flash blockers. Let's keep our draw engine in play. Right, I don't want to sacrifice our Beast Whisperer. Brawl matches can go the distance, and without replacement copies of cards, it's really, really important to hold on to those value engines. He's going to take the 2 lands. Gotcha! He's like, well, if he showed me the Liliana, what could these 2 cards be, right? They must be the best. He does need the land, though. We'll give him that. That's a nice trick, though. Show people the 2 cards that aren't good, and they'll think that the 1 card... or show them the 1 good card and hide the 2 bad cards, and they think that if you showed them that card, the other one must be just absolutely baller. Alright, so we've got a counter on the midnight clock here. Let's see what he does. We can pump Jolrael, right? That's why we're attacking first. We put everything to a 4/4. And then if we don't need to, we don't need to. Massacre Girl ain't doing shit. So when this creature dies, it's going to re-trigger it. It's going to get re-triggered during combat, I'm pretty sure. This is very cool. Watch this. Because it's this turn. So these deaths are going to re-trigger Massacre Girl, I'm pretty sure. No? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And then it's going to do another 1, another 2, and another 3. Nice. That's so cool. That was worth it. So we should have just taken it and then played for the rest of our turn. Woo! That was fun. So flashing Massacre Girl in during combat for extra sauce. Man, that's fun. Let's play into a counterspell, I guess. This might get risky. Let's just kill it. Whoops. Just cast it for 1, not 2. I always forget that it's already got the 1 cost built into it. Could have counterspell still. I'm just not so worried about it. He's still got 4 cards left. That's instant speed spark double. Nice. It would be cool if it re-triggered it enough to kill the keeper and he burned us twice in a row. Man. You know, it just freaks me out because it's like he's not casting on his turn. He can play everything with Flash. It's a little bit. Oh, okay. I actually don't think I mind that entirely. We have plenty of land. Let's just toss a Cultivate. We get burned almost regardless of what we do.
This is my paradise.
So we're just gonna make the 3/3.
We will adapt to any
He's
threat.
low on life, so I say we push it and we have instant interaction. This is a non-human, so... And then we're gonna get to trade here. He's got a chance to interact with it, right, while the spell's on the stack. 4 mana. What a guy! So we have Vivian. Right, we're gonna -2. Wow. I'd rather him not get the Kraken. He takes it anyways, nice.
My herd grows ever larger.
Oof. Should we just play from the top? Let's just free cast a Questing Beast, I think.
Things are about to get out of
Ooh,
hand.
or do we free cast our Elder Gargoth? Questing Beast or Elder Gargoth? Vigilance, Reach, Trample. Death Touch, Vigilance, Haste. I like the thought of free casting this big baddie. Gotta go with Questing Beast though, it's just so powerful. He should block Questing Beast. That's his 12th counter, so he's you get 2 turns here? Oh no, then draws 7 cards, okay. That's a little bit. Whew. That's hot. He can pay for a few of them, right? Okay, we're gonna need another Questing Beast, boys. Oh, he's got a counter spell he wants to hold up. Right? Why isn't he playing? He had plenty of more Krakens to make if he wanted. Interesting. Ooh! Ashiok on our token? Don't you dare. Or on our Nivian. It's like she should be Nissa. But we've got to discard that now. So that's very good. And all we play is a land. He can make these tokens forever. A really good match here, but I think he outbullied us. Like, this Kraken's totally saving the day for him. The Midnight Clock, drawing him a fresh hand this late in the game, or I've got nothing. Yeah, woof. How did he wipe our field? At one point we had a really good field, didn't we? Like, he killed our Solum, our Mutate stack, our Beast Whisperer, our Ceratops. How did he kill all that?
Creeping, thieving progeny.
Just, Oh, Midnight Clock must have shuffled his graveyard back into his library is the thing. That's why I can't find those creatures. Or spells. It's like, how's he interacting with me? How did he do so well? Oh, this sucks. We're going to take it on the chin, though. Oh, man. Our 10th land. This is super duper over. So we got pretty close, but just this ley line of anticipation throwing us for a whirl. It's just really helped him. He's got Death Touch here. He's just gonna straight up DT me, I think. No, he wants the Exile instead. Land, land. Wow. Could you imagine top decking 2 more lands? It would have been so bad. Anywho, we'll finish this match out, right? That's the one thing about Brawl that I don't care for, is that people are pretty quick to concede, because there is no rank associated with it, I feel like. So we like to really finish out our matches with everybody no matter what, win or lose. There we go. And BEA, beautiful. 10 land is crazy. We have 34 cards left in the deck, so it's a disproportionately high amount of land to have at this point in the game, I think. Well, our opponents got quite a bit of land as well, actually, so maybe that's just how the cookie crumbles here. He can just slay us, yeah. Whew, hit for 14. Lethal next turn. Okay, could be worse. We get the draw, triggers the 2/2. More land. Just ridiculous. So I guess our Beanstalk Giant can block this Kraken, and he'll just kill us with the Predator. He can go wide here as well. That's game. This guy's just not stopping, eh? Very nice. So this is some serious Dimir shenanigans. Let's see what we give him for the 3rd time here. It's lots of value. Let's try to trick him, pretend that 1 card is really, really good. Always collecting data, so yeah, we weren't able to trick him into that. He's like, well, no, I'll take that meteor golem. I got the land for it. That's great for me. We're dead this turn. If this gentleman doesn't acknowledge our good games, I guess a nice does it. He's going in heavy. He's not stopping the combo, that's for sure. Does he copy his banner, I assume? Yeah. Get him. Alright. We got just some blockers to throw out. Stop his damage so he doesn't get such a nice... Oh, it's a menace. Hello, good game. Don't hello me, bro. I'm trying to, you know, showcase your deck for you. He still gets stats of minus 11, and a very, very good game at that. Alright, let's see what we can do here. The 3 forests is really good. We do have more land with our Triumph, and a free cast of Once Upon a Time, plus our, I was going to call it Draw project, but it's Guardian project, and it goes in any green Brawl deck just absolutely perfectly. Whenever a non-token creature dies, or sorry, enters the battlefield under your control, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature you control, as you get to draw cards. So that's always a lot of fun. It is very early, so I'm going to have to apologize. And, well, actually, cancel that. We want to take our draw first so we have all of the available information. And then we can cast this. He's playing with Teza, which is death triggers. We have plenty of land, so let's just take our Harpooner. And we're off to the races. So I have a question for you guys today during the video here. This is going to be known as cam number 1. And I'm going to ask multiple times throughout the video, do you like cam number 1 or cam number 2? Because I'm trying to get that figured out and fine-tune some of the quality that we have on the stream here. So again, this is cam number 1 that we're seeing, and now we're about to move into cam number 2. 1 is about $100, and the other one's about $800. So I'm going to let you guys try to figure out which one is the webcam and which one is the DSLR, right? The expensive big boy camera for real pictures. And then if you guys can all guess it right and you all agree that that one is a lot better, then I think we'll probably just migrate to using that as our primary camera. And still maybe use 2, but I'm not sure how important it is to have 2 cams on a Magic the Gathering arena stream. You guys want the hand cam, you can see my mouse make all the misplays, right? Potentially. So again, now this is cam number 2, I want to remind you, and now we're moving back over to cam number 1. Our opponent is playing Teza Karlov, Orjov Sacrifice, or Aristocrats, if you will. So we're moving on up. We may as well play our Guardian project. We're still at 21, so plenty of life, and we're not so worried about our opponent's field state yet. There's no Death Touch. It does have Afterlife, which is going to bring in flying creatures, so that's a very nice form of evasion for our opponent. But we can squeeze through that. I will turn the brightness down just a little bit here. And then we're in with Forest. Guardian Project's in play. We have not much of a draw engine here, so let's just put out a blocker. We're going to get to draw from the project. Gem Razor doesn't really do much right now. It is a very nice utility card to have for later on, though. So he's going to make a ton of 1/1 flyers because of Teza. That's a little bit annoying. We do have the Harpooner with Reach, Gem Razor has Reach, and Vivian Monster's Advocate can make the 3/3s with Reach, so it's not all that oppressive, but it's not good. And that Bone Splinters is a very hot topic. Sacrificing a 1/1 token to kill our 5-cost draw engine. So that makes us a little bit sad. Let's play Jolrael, why not? Draw a card, make the 2/2, please and thank you. And in all honesty, I don't think Omen's worth destroying, so maybe let's just kill Teza, even though Well... yeah.
If you don't respect nature, we're gonna have a problem.
Reach, please. Just kind of getting those on the
I'd
field
like
for
you
a
to
little
meet
bit
my
later.
friend, Stompy.
Playing our Vivian alongside Jolrael splits the threat, so he doesn't just remove Jolrael and shut us down, or just remove Vivian and shut us down. He kind of has to deal with both of them. So that's the go-to there. I mean, he could attack. He could get his afterlife creatures flowing. That's always good, right? We're gonna Primal Might onto oof. That's actually pretty annoying. So he kills the Reach. Sacrifices his other 1/1. We need to get rid of this Enforcer is the thing. I guess let's kill the one with Vigilance. And we have to lose our Vivian, question mark? But I don't want to lose Vivian because she makes the Reach. But he'll make 4, 5, 6 tokens, which we're not going to be able to block with Vivian. But we will need. Wow, this is a choice for sure, kids. Let's just take it. Killing Vigilance.
Beaten, but not extinct.
He gets the 2/1/1s because of Tezza. Well, the Great Henge is actually really good here. We're gonna have 2 mana to play on top of it, which is actually reasonable. We can play our Harpooner. Even though we should be just killing Tezza. Yeah, then we take out one of the flyers here. We get the draw from the Chamber Guardian, which is nice, and then we also get the draw from the Henge, which is pretty cool. No attacks here because the Enforcer is in the way. So we want to use Primal Might on Tezza, but we actually can't because of the Enforcer. So there's a little bit of work for us to do there. Harpooner has Reach, which is great. Llanowar can draw for us. Well, I guess all these cards draw for us. Saving our Gemraiser for when he tries to play Ethereal Absolution. Whoa! What? Target player sacrifices a creature with the greatest power, which just happens to be our Harpooner with Reach. Very nice. But he's just trying to click in here. This is going to make so many tokens, that's disgusting. How else do we get around that? I don't think we do. Ouch. We're getting beat up. We're getting bullied here. Right, he gets 4 1/1s there. That's incredible. I love Questing Beast, doesn't have Reach. We do have enough to play them both. A Goose has Reach for a nice easy play. We could also mutate onto our cat for Reach. He's too high on life. We can't pump the beast enough to kill him, so we may as well just cast this for 1. Oh, actually cancel. Cast it for 0. Our beast on his Enforcer. Let's just play this as the creature. Makes me sad, but it is what it is. The double draw is quite nice. And the goose has reach as well. And the Great Henge puts it to a 1/3, so it can actually block for the kill. And the Grazer has reach as well, so that's really good. We're just kind of getting lucky with all these reach creatures. Again, becoming a 1/4, able to kill some of these flyers. We play the land. Questing Beast can attack, he's got Vigilance. And he can't be blocked. 12 life, 3 creatures with reach, which can all take a kill. So he's got 2 turns to attack. He'll get 2 in the first and 0 in the second, which is good for us. Kaya's Wrath brings the field, gross. Yeah, we got plenty of lands, so playing Jolrael's no problem, just for the immediate draw. Even though we already have too many cards in our hand. Have you ever heard of milling yourself with mono green, right? Good game. He kind of knows what's happening. It is what it is. He could have another Kaya's Wrath, but I'm not sure that that's relevant. Just a lot of value here, right? Like drawing 3 cards for 1, so good game. He knows where this ends. We'll see you later. All right, 3 lands. Can't complain. Into a Vivian Arcbow Ranger. Not really any early game creature interaction, but that's one of the benefits of having Jolrael as your commander, right? So always a 2-drop creature. That's nice. We have our protection, we have our removal, then a little bit of reach. Coming up against Tessa again? Very interesting. Very popular commander. Nissa's Triumph is an amazing 2-drop for us here. Just thinning our library. Ensuring that we've always got land drops. We can always protect it with our Ranger's Ghoul. Turn 3 Bazriket from the deck. Nice.
Come share bread with me. Now is the time to strike.
So this is actually pretty good for us. Bazriket's got 4, so we want a Primal Might for 3. And then on our Jolrael, fight the Garrison Cat. Oh, it can make the little dude, though. Okay, so we're going to cancel this, and we're going to go a different route. Just because it does still make that cat.
Survived Nico Bolas, and I will survive you.
Yeah, it'll survive. So let's push our Jolrael up.
My, how you've grown.
And then we can still hit Bazri for a decent amount here. Right? 1 damage. It's a decent amount. Come on. I mean, I still can't get over the fact that he dropped a turn 3 Bazri.
This place is like a zoo.
1 point of damage on our Vivian, which is totally fine. Okay, so I think at this point we save our Primal Might for his Tesla.
Trust in your abilities.
Well, or we just kill Basri right now. Right?
I'd get out of the way if I were you.
So we're gonna take 3 damage, and then he can do another one. We have Trample. This is nice because we have Trample. And we have protection for ourselves as well, potentially. So he just takes it, which is really good. And let's play our Harpooner just to protect our Vivian a little bit. Still having mana to protect our Jolrael. Feeling pretty good. Quick camera check, you guys. Cam 1. Oh, or cam number 2. Quality-wise, obviously not angle-wise. I'm thinking cam number 1, personally, over here. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Maybe 2's better, who knows. Vindictive Vampire is pretty cool, but it's maybe too little too late. Sometimes the turn 3 Basri just isn't enough. The collective power of MTG Jeff, Dr.Spilikin, and Hello Good Game cannot be stopped in the Brawl arena. We could draw a bunch of cards. I'm into it. It is instant speed. We're doing it on our mate phase, which is silly, but sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. We'll put Trample on them both.
This'll be fun to watch.
And then, of course, we do have our Ranger, which can plus it by an additional 1/1, give it Hexproof, which he has no mana for. He is just taking 10. Woohoo! That is a lot of damage, boys. Questing Beast in the pocket. There's a Karlov in play, finally. The General Enforcer. Okay, so we've seen this combo last game as well. I didn't pay attention to his name, but this could be the same individual even. Looks like the exact same deck. So the cool thing about Indestructible is it, like, it's not going to protect it from Kendo's transformation here. So not only do we draw a card for Jolrael, but we just killed Tezza, which is so deadly, right? Play our Henge. Play our Questing Beast. Give him the Hello Good Game. Let's flush our Jolrael. And our Beast up.
This'll be fun to watch.
Let's swing in with everybody, who cares? Math is for blockers. That's one thing we do know. Sacks his Tezza, just so he can get it back to his command zone. No longer has Indestructible. But at least this way he can replay it later, right? He should block the 4/3 as it does not have Trample. Right, and maybe just take the damage from the Questing Beast. Right, I would block Tezza Karlov with the Harpooner, make that an interaction, and then leave the Questing Beast to go through. as it has trample anyways, right? So we hit for 13 here. Bingo, bango, bongo. We're still at 25, so really no worries here. Playing the second round against Tezza much more efficiently than the first. Vivian giving trample to things is just incredible. We have our Hydra, which can fight the Enforcer. We could also make things 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make everything 6, 6, which we don't really need. Seven. Yeah, let's just do like 7 or something. Who cares? Well, 6 is a good number too. Keeping some of our mana. We're gonna fight the Enforcer. We also get to draw here. Nissa just ruins this whole game. Cancel. Let's have Jolrael. Or not Jolrael, Questing Beast fight Arteza.
You picked the wrong fight.
Good game. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy is the value engine of green. Alrighty, here we go again. 3 lands. That's all we can ask for. We even have a Once Upon a Time, which is pretty cool. Not so much early game interaction. And we're playing against Veto, which could be a little bit more oppressive than we'd want it to be. Yeah, let's just go for it. I like the Simulacrum. I think that's a good get for us. Okay, Freebooter's going to take probably our Iron Games, I'm assuming. Maybe our Cultivate. One of our 3 drops. We're ready to play our Guardian Project. Okay, so here's Veto already, getting a little bit annoying. Even though it's not done, he's just touched the field, right? So we got plenty of draw engines in play, or like available to us. It's going to be a matter of squeezing the value from them, right? Can we get them to trigger before they're removed? Okay, Maze Mind Tomb, that's not so bad. We get another land. We also get to draw a card. And we get the 2/2. So there's a lot of stuff going on there that's very beneficial for us. And now we just need to keep executing that amount of value every turn and try to limit what he does. Oh no. It is Brawl though, so only 1 oven. He's pretty lucky to have grabbed it. Oh my lord, nice. Hit with the Freebooter again, down to 18 here. We get to draw, we get the token. Let's draw one more time because of the project. No token this time, we only get it once a turn. No attacks. It's to the point where we want to start holding some land in our hand to use Jolrael's ability with. Just make these 2/2s into 5/5s, something like this. Oh! Great Merchant hits for 7. Oh, good game. Good game. He's going to gain life with his tomb soon and just kill us that way. He can also hit us for another one. We don't have reach. Ouchie. That's big damage, boys. And if anyone's going to beat us, it's going to be Vito. He is busted. Crazy stuff. Okay. Oh, he can gain life by paying 2 once he gets the mana just to deal damage via his food tokens onto us. We can kill Vito here, though. We should have used our Castle Garen break. Whoops. He can also replay Vito for 5, which is an option for him. Tis a most definitely game, which sucks. We will get a nice draw here because Keeper of Fables. We'll get our Iron games back. I think we're still dead next turn anyways, just based on his veto. Alright, so we get our draw from the Keeper, also from our adversary. So we're having no trouble drawing cards here within the green archetype. It's actually quite easy. Here comes Vito. He's got 1 land. You take 1 damage, he gains 1 life, and then there's the 2nd damage because of his ability. Pretty close, and we were getting, you know, 1 turn, 2 turns away from destruction there. Mono green Brawl, pretty cool. I really like it. I'm at a loss for words almost. I really appreciate the time that Jeff and the good doctor have been taking out of their schedule to do the podcast with us. It's been absolutely amazing, and I'm really looking forward to continuing it. If you're unfamiliar, it's called FNM Podcast. You should be able to Google it. It's everywhere that you'd normally listen to podcasts. And yeah, we're talking about all things Magic the Gathering Arena. We are playing a little bit of Brawl as well, getting into more historic content, free to play for both game modes. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, hit the bell icon for all of the good content yet to come. And let me know what camera you like better, you guys. Camera 1 or camera 2? Camera 1 or camera 2? We're trying to up the quality. So thanks for your time and attention. I really appreciate it. Do take care. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace!